Yo, what's up, everyone? I hope you're all doing well as usual, and hope that everyone had a great weekend despite all of the crazy things happening in this world. But before I continue, as usual, if anyone is in the live chat, can you let me know if everything is good, the sound, the video, and yeah. So I'll give you a couple of seconds just to know if everything's good. And then we dive into the technical analysis as usual. So, hi Habib, sound is okay. Thank you so much, Martin. So let's dive right into it. So, as usual, we'll do a recap of what happened last week, and then we'll dive into what I expect for this upcoming week. So first of all, last Sunday, if you remember, we did have one resistance that was getting reached during the live, and I didn't open a short position simply because we didn't have the best reaction. If you go on the 1 hour chart, I didn't have any imbalance, wasn't the cleanest rejection. It did end up offering a small drop, but then we just moved higher. As expected, right, we wanted to see higher, but my ideal scenario would have been a drop into that support to then see a move up, which we didn't get. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to open a long position. And then after that, if we just open the Discord, it was pretty simple. So we had one resistance first, which did offer a reaction. So it was right there. It was this area that was shared inside the live stream. So last Sunday. And when we reached into it, of course, I did update the Discord that this was the area to look at. And in the end, again, it did offer a rejection. I made a quick update that the level to hold for the bulls was $106,600, which I was also interested in longing if we saw a reaction, but unfortunately, we got the reversal higher before reaching that support level. So all in all, during the week, that's the only level that offered a first rejection before getting that bigger drop to the downside. And then that was on Thursday maybe, or was that Friday? So on Wednesday, actually, I wanted to see a move up into that high, right, to open a short position and see a move back down into my support area because I did expect this one to get reached. And in the end, well, this didn't happen. I got front on, we dropped, as you can see, I got front on before taking Monday's high, which was very unfortunate. I didn't open a long position, which was very important, of course, because you don't want to open stupid long positions. So it wanted to see one more low, so I was waiting. We got the lows, I didn't open a long, and then when we lost that support, I wanted to see a move towards $103,800. So let's go back on the chart. We got this move a bit lower because we had a lot of volatility because of the war news, of course, but in the end, as soon as we lost this support, which was $107,700, so around there, I did expect that move down to this level, which did happen. So with that said, what can we expect next? Well, overall, I will say this week, I do expect price to come back below this low and break $100,000 to head towards this area around $97,000. Okay, what's this level? Well, it's very simple. It's a daily imbalance, and on top of that, if I remember well, we do have the point of control right there. Okay, so this will be a very important level at this point. As I said, I do expect it to get reached. So overall, my scenario will be based around price moving down, taking these lows, reaching that support, and then we can see if we get a bounce to the upside. Okay, so let's remove all of this and dive on the lower time frames. So if you go on the 12-hour, you can see we have two imbalances. This one is partially filled, so I am expecting this one to get filled. On the 4-hour, same thing, 4-hour imbalance, partially filled. I am expecting this one to get filled. Plus, we have a very big wick, which could offer a move just a bit higher, right, to maybe fill the bottom part of that wick and then reverse lower. I wouldn't love that, but it's possible. But just keep in mind that we do have a very big wick, which is one of the reasons why I'm expecting a move higher. And then on the 1-hour chart, you can see that we have the same imbalance. So overall, this level is a very strong level. We have a lot of confidence on the 12-hour, the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and that's why my ideal scenario would be a drop back into these lows, right? Take out these lows. I would like a clean retest of my level because right there, this wasn't the cleanest reaction. So if we can get this, drop down to my level, get the bounce. So that would offer a long position in my opinion. Get the bounce into resistance and then get that reversal lower to move into $97,000. And from there we can see, do we get a bounce to the upside and a new all-time high, or will this offer a small bounce before reversal lower, or of course even no bounce at all and a continuation to the downside. Okay, so overall that would be my scenario. If I just fix it a bit, let me remove this and this and this. So let's go back on the 4 hour. Ideally, again, I would love to see a drop, bounce into resistance, drop back down into support, and then from there we can see if we get one final bounce to the upside. And honestly, I would still be looking for one more all-time high on Bitcoin, okay? So I think for now that's it. Do I want to talk about the upcoming all-time high? Well, we can go for it, okay? So if this does offer the long down there at this support level, the thing that I like is that, as I said, I do expect a new all-time high, okay? So if I just remove this for now, okay? So if we do get that drop first, and then we bounce and break this level, I do believe that we could get a fake out of the all-time highs before getting a much bigger drop. And at this point, honestly, I would expect to move towards $85,000, okay? So a bigger recap, I am expecting a new all-time high, but not a full-on bull market. I just want to see a fake out and then a move back down. So that's why I will be interested in longs down here and potentially down there. And intraday, you do have this resistance, which is going to be very important in my opinion, okay? But for now, again, one last time, this would be my ideal scenario: drop, bounce, drop back down, and bounce back up, okay? And that would be it for Bitcoin. So that said, we can dive into some altcoins, right? That would be it for Bitcoin. Ethereum, it still failed to close above this resistance, which I did honestly expect to get broken because simply it was tested once, twice, 3 times. So at this point, I did kind of expect Ethereum to maybe move, I don't know, a bit higher and then come down to retrace and then continue up. Of course, this didn't happen and we ended up getting a 12-hour close back into resistance, which was a big sign of weakness. And then this resistance, honestly, has been extremely strong. And even the supports, right, I just shared 2 levels. This one, which offered a bounce. This one, which offered another bounce. And during this entire time, I had just one resistance, which offered a big rejection every single time. So with that said, on Ethereum now, I think it makes sense to expect a drop back below these lows. And very simply, I want to mark out this level. I think it's a daily as well, it is. So this level does look quite nice to me, okay? We do have a small order block, not the best, but I don't know. You could also mark out an area, right? Which would be below that low, if you don't mind having bigger areas on your chart. But I do think that overall this area, for now I'll keep it. I can remove this. Think that this area overall could offer a bit of support on Ethereum for potential move back up, okay? So that would be it for Ethereum. Pretty simple. Let me just fix the daily open. That would be daily open. So intraday resistance, kind of lower time frame, you could always look at this. Let's see if we can find anything. Daily. So we do have this one right there, which I do want to keep an eye on. Same on the 12-hour. And the value area high would be there. So this is actually a pretty interesting area on Ethereum. And that would go in line with the bounce on Bitcoin towards $107,000 to then come back down and take out these lows. So I do believe that this area on Ethereum, just above 2,640, will be a pretty interesting one to potentially open a short position if you want to short Ethereum and see a break back down below these lows. So, okay, I think this one is pretty simple, just like Bitcoin. We could maybe get one more drop, a move up, and then a drop to the downside, and then you can see if this area offers a bit of support. So I think that's mainly it. I will cover some more altcoins, but as usual, if anyone has any questions, leave them in the live chat and we'll be sure to cover every single altcoin that you have in mind. Solana, I did take a look at it before the live, and I'll be honest, for this one, I would just expect, was on the daily, I would expect to drop towards at least $126. Okay, I don't like these lows at all. You have a double bottom. I mean, actually, with this one, you could even look at it as a quadruple bottom, but I think it's just for now it's just a double bottom. So I don't like these lows. I would expect a move lower. So Solana looking pretty weak overall, and I don't know. I don't see anything super interesting on the lower time frames. So that would be a quick analysis on Solana. Overall, I would expect to move towards at least $126. XRP. What do we have on XRP? This level is still holding. If anyone has a question on what this level is, it's pretty simple. It was this daily imbalance, which has held up extremely well. But with that said, now it's been tested 4 times. So going in line with the other altcoins, I would expect a move lower on XRP. I don't see anything interesting to the downside on this one, so I think we can just move on. Yeah, I think I'll just move on from this one. Just be aware of that low. Actually, this one is pretty interesting. It's a typical pattern. First low, deviation. You come back into that low for a potential reversal to the upside. Okay, so actually 1.9 would be pretty interesting on XRP. And that's it. Injective, again, same level. You can see it's a 12-hour imbalance. Not a daily, but it's a 12-hour, which has also offered pretty nice reactions 2 times. But now I don't see anything. I'm expecting lower on this one. Kaito, this one has just, yeah, I mean, just pretty weak. Pengu. Yep, I got front on there, which is one reason why, at least in my opinion, it probably wants to come back down for this level. So that would be one small area to look for on Pengu. And ENA, I'm looking at this one, okay? We did have a very nice short this week, which I was looking at, but just completely missed because, well, I miss sometimes. But we had a daily imbalance, extremely simple short position. We had a daily imbalance. We moved up into it with a daily imbalance. And on top of that, you had this extremely ugly lows, which I heavily expected to be taken out. So honestly, this short was one of the easiest one I've seen in a long time. It was pretty much a given 24%. As you can see, this low got taken out pretty easily. And I am looking for this area below. You can see I have my alert just around just below 0.27. This would be a very interesting area. I don't know how strong this coin looks, but I do believe that if it gets going, this one could become like very impulsive, just like Kaito did. Okay, so again, just to show you, not to brag, of course, but just because, I mean, that's what I teach. Imbalances pretty much always dictate the market. Again, this was such an easy short, and I was kind of gutted that I missed this one. Okay, and this low was just insanely ugly. And that's it. We look at the stock market. You guys have some questions? How about ETH dropping to 2K to clear that imbalance on the weekly? So 2K, 2000. Where's 2000? 2K. I mean, the weekly imbalance, well, for me, it's not an imbalance. I mean, I just looked at this. I didn't look at this before, but man, this is an ugly weekly chart. All you see is wicks to the upside. So I think Ethereum, looking at the weekly chart, is kind of good confluence to expect lower prices in the overall market. Why, right? This weekly chart is just insanely ugly. But I mean, you could look for a move down there, the weekly. You said 2000, but the right level would be 1.8. First, I mean, I take it level by level. I would just look at to around 2225, okay, around this area. But I will say that over the longer term, okay, as I'm expecting a fake out of the all-time high on Bitcoin, I do believe that Ethereum could very easily come back down towards. I mean, it's a daily imbalance, not a weekly. You can see this one. It's a bit of a wickless candle as well, which is very ugly. So $1,800, I think this will come easily in the future. You could, for example, get this, move up, move down, one last move up, and then that big move down, okay? So something like this maybe on Ethereum. But yes, over the longer term, I do have to say these highs are just looking like super ugly. So I think you can look for that move down there. But for now, again, I just want to focus on this first support and this first resistance. Hi Jean-Pierre, how are you? I hope you're well. What do you think about Sui? If BTC goes as high as you've outlined, is it possible for Sui to bounce to 3.196? 3.196 on Sui. Why did I have this level marked out? So that was a 12-hour. And why did I have this one marked out? That was a liquidity, I guess. Yeah. But you can, that was just a straight move down. So let's look at Sui. I have to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this chart. I mean, just purely Elliott wave speaking, at least to my eyes. Let's go back on the... Wait, let me look at something just a bit more. Look at something. Just want to zoom in there. Okay. So, yeah, on the higher time frames, again, that's my view. This doesn't look like the best chart, okay? Elliott wave speaking, I was saying this. I just think that this looks like a three-wave move, honestly. I think this looks very clean for a three-wave move. And overall, I think I would expect another low. That's just me being very honest on Sui, just a break back below that low at 1.7. But what did you say? So 3.196? 3.196. What do you have up there? I'll look for a new level. Let me just remove that one. Actually, let me keep this one, but I'll look for a new level. So what do you have at 3.196? Is this a daily? 3.2. So yes, I think this move should come pretty easily on Sui. But I can instantly see down there you have a wickless daily candle, which is an imbalance as well. So this was the same logic that I had on FET. On FET? Okay. So right there on FET you had this wickless daily imbalance, which I did expect to be taken because wickless daily imbalances are usually act as a magnet to price usually. So as you can see, FET, it did initially bounce, but then it came back down to take out this wickless daily candle. So if you had the resistance, again, this candle is usually a very good sign that you will drop lower, which it did. So if you go back to Sui, again, we can go back to Sui. You have this wickless daily imbalance, which in my opinion will be taken out very easily. So I can remove this. I don't know if you're searching for support. This one, as you can see, you did have a volume gap as well on this 12-hour imbalance. So I think that this was a very nice level, which did offer a first bounce. But overall, I think that this level will be taken out very easily, okay? So again, if you're confident about shorting Sui, you could maybe mark this out as an area. And if you get that move up, you could look for a short position. Something like this. I think that would be very acceptable, honestly. The stop loss, it just depends on your risk management, on your risk tolerance, and you could look at something like this, okay? So maybe a bit lower depending on where you put the high in. So I think this could be a short position that could be offered on Sui. But yeah, overall bias on the much higher time frames, this just looks like a three-wave move. And on the daily, well, you have a wickless daily candle right there, which I do believe will get taken out. Okay, so pretty simple on SUI. Look for lower prices. So again, if you can get that bounce into that resistance, I think that this could offer a move lower. Um, Hello Roderick, hope you're well. Can you take a look at TIA, DGB, AVE, and INJ? So we can start with AVE. Ah, remove my alert on this one. Or did it get hit? No, I just removed it because we moved that much higher. So we did have this target for for this move to the upside. Unfortunately, we didn't get offered the long at support, right? I just got front run. Again, very ugly weekly candle, so no daily imbalance to offer resistance, right? This moved above the daily imbalance, so not the cleanest coin in my opinion, at least for my strategy. But again, you do have this daily imbalance with a big wick following market expectations, for me at least. You could look at that high, which is an ugly high in my opinion. You do have a very nice resistance up here. So AVE overall, I would look for this support below, probably bounce, and then come back down to that level, and you can see if this offers a reaction. I do think that this scenario is it looks very nice to the eye. Okay, so I think this looks very good on AVE. This, I mean, if you get offered this, and you see imbalances at the highs, you see a wick on the maybe on the hourly or anything, I think this could, yes, this is a very ugly high. So I do believe that this high will get taken out, and I do believe that overall you will see lower prices to come back down to this support at $230. So that would be AVE. Very nice looking setups, I have to say. What did you say? TIA, DGB, INJ. So we looked at INJ. What I said, I don't like it. Okay, we have too many lows on this level right there. So overall, I just think you move lower. I don't know, for resistance, you have this one, but it's a bit too close. So I don't know if I would look for this one. Plus, let me go on the 4 hour. I mean, I don't know. You could look for this resistance, but it's a bit too close. I think it could bounce higher. INJ, not the best short setups, but overall I would expect to move lower and pretty easily a fill of this daily imbalance down to $9. So that would be it for INJ. Let's look at TIA. Oh wow, so we did do analysis on this one. What did I outline? So a move. So we did outline this move higher, which we did get, but we didn't reach that target. Yeah, very weak coin overall, so you can remove all of this. Yeah, man, I mean, that's just as I've been saying for a long time, this is just a weak coin. The chart doesn't look good. I mean, there's nothing else to look for below these lows. You did have the fib extension, but now that you've broken it, do you want to look for another fib extension? I don't know, man. I just think that this is a bad coin. Like the chart, I don't know about fundamentals, but the chart, it just doesn't look great. I would at least wait for a sign of strength before looking at this coin again. Okay, if you're playing this on spot, right, because you like the fundamentals, that's a different game. But trading wise, this is just an extremely weak coin, right? And I did tell you this when we saw this bounce. I told you that I didn't like these lows. We came back below them and it just continued lower. So not much to say on TIA, just a weak coin overall. And finally, the DGB. What? Was it this one? Yep. So again, we took out these lows, hit that level, didn't offer a reaction. So now you look for the next level, which was down there. Right? I mean, this one was the best short that we shared a while ago. I think we shared this level. This offered such a nice rejection. How much in profit would you be if you held on to it? I mean, that's 37%, pretty nice off of that resistance. But I mean, you could look for a small bounce, but now this chart is starting to look ugly. So maybe a bounce, move back up, and then a move back down to reach that level down there. Yeah. You could look for this. You should expect this level to offer a reaction at least, okay? So a small bounce to the upside. But then after this, I mean, it's in line with the rest of the market. I would expect lower prices. So that's it for your coins. Could you check where Link would top out if BTC goes to 107K? Yes, let's look at Link. Let's look at Link. This level didn't get reached, unfortunately. Was this a daily? Yeah, it was a daily. Man, that was a nice level if it got reached on Link. So Link. Well, I mean, just like the other coins, let me look at this quickly. I would mark this out. 12 hour, 4 hour. You could definitely look at the volume profile. Let's look at this. You do have the value area low in this area. If you take it from the low, it's not there anymore. And if you take this entire range, you do have the point of control right there. So you do have a pretty big area where you have the point of control, the imbalance, and the value area high. But of course, between these three levels, the strongest one in my view would be the value area high. So around $14 on Link should offer a rejection in my opinion. So again, following Bitcoin, maybe take out both of these lows for this one. So take out these lows, reverse higher, and then drop back down. Something like this on Link. Yeah. But the best setup that we've covered, at least in my opinion, would be Aave. Did I set an alert on it? Nope. So let's go back to Aave. I do want to set an alert on this one, but I don't know. I've just been comfortable trading Bitcoin. So do I want to trade altcoins? I'll just put an alert up there. I think this is the cleanest short setup offered, in my view. So I will just put an alert up there for Aave. Okay. So welcome, Roderick. Welcome. So if we don't have any more questions, we can look at the stock market before ending the stream. We can look at gold as well. Well, gold has just continued higher. Yeah, I mean, gold probably new all-time highs with all of the uncertainty. Silver continued on moving up. Yeah. Starting to look a bit more impulsive, which is always nice to see. And now we can look at the stock market. So, oof, I did have the resistance given in the last live stream, and I just got front on by, how much was that? 0.1%. So maybe one more high to hit that level. Who knows? Maybe one more high on the stock market just to hit that level before getting a bigger jump to the downside. But overall, going on the S&P, I did talk about this multiple times, but I mean, you just have to expect this gap to get filled. And this 4 hour just looks extremely weak on the S&P. Is it the same on the? No, it's not the same. Yeah, I don't know. Could you get one more high on the S&P? I mean, it's possible, definitely possible, but yeah. Stock market overall, you should expect lower in my opinion, right? I mean, at least to fill this daily and hit that gap. I don't know if anyone's trading the stock market, but yeah. And that would be it, guys. That would be it, I think, for this live. If you don't have any more questions, I think we've analyzed everything. So a quick recap, Bitcoin. To me, this looks like a very nice scenario, okay? Drop to retest that support, plus you have this big wick. So drop into that wick, hit that level, bounce to the upside, hit that resistance, $107,000, okay? The timing, by the way, just don't focus on the timing, okay? I'm not saying that this will get hit in 10 days, okay? This is just a drawing, but drop, bounce, drop back down. You know, I can redraw it for you if you want. Let's see. So drop, bounce, drop back down, and then from there we can see if we get that bounce higher. Okay, guys. Just having fun drawing on the charts, man. I love my life. So again, I think this would be my scenario. If we can get this, I have to say, and we get a lot of fear down there, I do believe that this would be perfect fuel to see a new all-time high, the fake out of the all-time high, and then I think that we should be ready for a bigger drop to the downside and potentially a move towards $85,000, okay? And I will say, if you lose $97,000, this would be a very big sign of weakness. You really don't want to lose that level, okay? Just like last week, we can go back on the Discord. When I gave this support, I did say that this was a very important level to me. So yeah, so right there, this was a very important support in my opinion. Why? Because when we lost it, what I said was that I expected price to end up at $103,800. Okay, so the same logic for that support. Okay, if you broke it, you got a pretty easy move. Like, how much would that be? So from here to here, I mean, pretty easy 4% move. I think that if you lose $97,000, you will see much lower prices, okay? But that's my view at least. But for now, I'll just remove this and keep this on my chart. And with that said, if you don't have any more questions, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope that everyone's safe. I hope that everyone's families are safe during these crazy times. We have wars all over the place, bombs, rockets, whatever you can think of. But unfortunately, that's how humans have always acted and will continue to act. So again, sending my prayers to everyone. I hope that everyone had a great weekend as well. I hope that everyone is safe. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you for the members inside the Discord. I will see you tomorrow, and yeah, stay safe everyone, and have a profitable week of trading.